Can someone tell me what happened to critical thinking? I mean, why is it becoming more and more rare to find anyone who actually has an original thought? Let's take politics, for example. Aren't you just as tired as I am of the political polarization in our country? It feels like everywhere you look, people are divided into camps and they're just mindlessly parroting talking points from their favorite news outlets. There's so much uniformity in the way that we think. It's like if you know someone's stance on gun control, you can probably guess how they feel about immigration or abortion too. There's no room for diversity in thought anymore. I question, hasn't anyone had a personal life experience that has caused them to break away from their political party's ideology on a topic like gun control or immigration? I mean, come on, it's getting weird to see this amount of uniformity from each member of each political party. I get that those who belong to the same party will hold similar views on many issues, but to agree with your political party on every issue, that just seems odd to me. But this uniformity of thought, it isn't just limited to politics. This same lack of just critical thinking shows up in our workplaces. How often do you see people pitching truly innovative ideas in meetings? Instead, they stick to what's safe, what they know their manager will approve of, or what's considered a best practice. And what's the result? It's a culture of sameness where assumptions go unchallenged and creativity dies. On this channel, I know we haven't talked a lot about politics, and maybe in the future we will, who knows, but we do talk about how to develop healthy mindsets. And I want to tell you that developing and maintaining a healthy mindset requires more than just positive affirmations. It requires awareness of how we're being influenced every single day by mass media and social media and the messages embedded in the content we consume. I want you to consider the TV shows you binge watch, the Instagram accounts you follow, the Facebook posts you are constantly looking at, the movies that you love. They all carry messages. Some of the messages are more subtle and some are more obvious and blatant, but often they contain elements of propaganda. These messages shape how we see ourselves, how we define success, what we consider to be beautiful, how we define fulfillment. They influence how content we feel in our own lives. And the thing is, most of us don't even realize it's happening because we're not thinking critically about what we're taking in. If we're not careful, this lack of critical thinking can lead to a toxic, unhealthy mindset, unhealthy thought patterns. See, it can lead to you maybe starting to feel like you're not enough because your life doesn't look like some curated highlight reel you see on social media. Or it can lead to you beginning to question your worth because your job title doesn't sound impressive by society standards. But I think that there is some good news. I think the good news is that you don't have to let these messages control you. You can take back your mental space and protect your mindset by doing one simple thing, and that's thinking critically about the media you consume. See, we're just starting a new year, and as we move into this new year, I want to challenge you to become more intentional about what you allow into your mind. Here are 3 steps you can begin to take that will help you to think more critically and guard your mental health. The first step is question everything. Don't take information at face value. Ask yourself, who benefits from this message? And what's the agenda behind it? This applies to the news you consume, advertisement, social media, the things that you're viewing when you're just casually just scrolling through Instagram and YouTube online. Think about or what's the intention behind what I'm consuming. Think about it. Question everything. The second step that you can take in order to begin to think critically is set boundaries. Decide what types of media you'll consume and what you will not consume. If something consistently leaves you feeling anxious and inadequate or angry, it's time to reevaluate that particular content in your life. Start being intentional about consuming things that align with your morals, your values, and the type of person that you want to be. The third tip when it comes to thinking critically is begin to create space for independent thinking. Take time away from your screens, your iPads, your telephones. Take time away from all of that and just begin to sit with your own thoughts. I love the practice of journaling. Read books that challenge your perspectives and have meaningful conversations with people who think differently from you. For instance, I am a devout Christian, but I have friends who are agnostic. I have friends who I'm not really sure where they stand as far as their religious beliefs. We can have conversations. We can actually disagree. And even at times where the disagreements don't feel so good, because often when you're having a conversation with someone and they're disagreeing with you about something that you feel very strongly, it is going to be triggering. But you can take a breath. You're mature enough to just step back from the conversation, take a breather, and just remember the things that you really enjoy about that person and the qualities they possess that cause you to really appreciate them and see them as such a beautiful person. And you can still remain connected and close with that individual, even though they may have a different worldview than you do. See, engaging in those type of conversations, that helps to create a space that cultivates independent thinking. All right, so I want you to be intentional about thinking critically in this new year, because like I said, if you just consume things mindlessly, take things in at face value, it will start to begin to impact your thought patterns, how you view yourself, how happy you are, how content you are. There's plenty of evidence that shows that those who are mindlessly consuming social media actually are unhappier than those who are more intentional about what they're letting into their mental space. So think about that. Begin to implement those 3 tips. Like, share, and subscribe to the channel, because we're going to be continuously putting out this type of content that's helping us to become the type of individuals that we want to be in this new year. All right. See you in the next video, y'all.